Good morning, everyone. I hope you slept well. Today, we are going to continue our exploration of the different aspects of the vegan lifestyle. So, I wish to talk about birds today. I'm passionate about birds. We have many birds in our garden that comes every day, and we give them food and try to make their life a bit easier. And it's a lot of fun to watch them. Of course, those are wild birds. We are not catching them or anything. Just provide them some food, and we just like a bird watch from a distance or from close. Some are not afraid of us anymore, and it's a lot of fun. So birds. Why birds? Why talk about them? Because they are wonderful creatures, wonderful sky people. They symbolize freedom in all cultures. They, they belong to the sky, of course, to all the to all of nature outside, to open spaces, but certainly not to humans. And we can enjoy their graceful flight, joyful songs, and that remind us well of the wild spirit that exists in nature. So it's untamed and unbound. If we really love them, then we should love their freedom. Loving them doesn't mean putting them in cages. Unfortunately, many birds end up in cages, which is extremely sad. And the birds, they go crazy in cages. And for some reason, humans like to dominate and to be like the one that dictates things. And to put birds in cages is horrendous, honestly. Birds just don't belong to cages. Try to celebrate their existence, but without claiming ownership. They are not ours to do anything with them, except helping them a little bit if we can, if we wish. They do not ask much from us, except that we respect them. When we see them fly in the sky, we feel inspired. We see their beauty, their freedom, and it should be protected. So there are so many species. I mean, I don't know how you call it, like types of birds, subspecies. So many, so many. From small ones to big ones. Some are well known, some are not known at all. Some maybe live only in the Amazon. And all of them are beautiful and should be respected. Also, there are many parrots. Parrots are wonderful. There are many countries which has such beautiful parrots, and they're so smart. And unfortunately, some countries also have them because people brought them just to have them in that country, but those countries do not belong to them. They don't belong in those countries. Those countries are much colder than where they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be live in hot countries, well, parrots at least. And then we can see them in countries where they are not supposed to be, and they suffer from lack of food and lack of shelter and cold. But they survive somehow. And it was, I think in the country where I am, I believe someone so brought them to this country, but then finally decided to release them. And he or she released them, and from then on, they spread in this country. It's wonderful to see them, but at the same time, it's not wonderful because they're not supposed to be here. But still, they are already here, so we cannot go back, and we need to help them. Yeah. So birds are not objects. They're not decorations, toys, or some background music for homes. Maybe some buy them just to hear their music. If one could interpret their music, it would be a very melancholic song. And maybe some just want to see them. But humans have the tendency to believe like every being is an object, especially non-humans, and that they can do like anything they wish and put them in cages and just admire them. But why do we do that? Why not just let them be in nature and admire them from a distance in their home? So they are fully sentient beings with very rich emotional lives. They have distinct personalities. They have complex social structures. And they even experience joy, grief, fear, and affection. They form deep bonds with mates and families. And they also have remarkable intelligence. They can solve problems in a very wise way. I believe I heard one story about crows. So crows, they had like nuts, very strong nuts that they couldn't break. So they devised an idea like when they went next to like a light for cars, like car stop lights. Or how do you call it? I forgot. The free lights to stop and to go. And then they waited so that the cars stop. Then they put the nuts just so they flew next to the car, just next to the tire. They put the nuts just on the ground. And then they flew away. And then when it was time for the cars to go, then the car itself broke the nuts, and then the crow went and took the nut, the inside of the nut. That's quite amazing. So this is like true problem solving, cognitive problem solving, and they are very smart. When one sees them from close, one see that they have personalities. Like we have many when I go to them, so we have many also pigeons that we give food to, and when I go like next to them, they each have their personality. One is very bold, like the chief. I call him the chief. One is a bit hesitant. One looks absolutely wonderful. I call her the beauty. And so I gave different names to the birds that come to our garden. and they're not afraid of us. They also, when I give them food, they also, when I give them from my hand, they eat from my hand. In the beginning, they are hesitant, or they were hesitant, but now they just come and eat, especially when they are in a group. So and then they also communicate with each other. They very sophisticated vocalization, and so they understand what we say to them. They are not robots. And here a crowd doesn't just remember it plans. This is what I told you about this story, about these nuts, how they crack nuts in a very wise way. So the veganism reminds us that no one exists for pleasure. That's very important. Every being deserves to live according to their own nature, free from exploitation. That's like the credo of the vegan lifestyle, basically. And so I just want to raise a bit of awareness about those wonderful, wonderful creatures. And cages are deeply cruel, very cruel. I'm not sure why why humans started with that. How come it even started, this concept of putting beings in cages just for our enjoyment, so-called enjoyment? I'm not sure how we can enjoy it. But it's very small also. Not even if it was big, it would be traumatic. But usually cages are relatively small, and the birds cannot really fly much. And for them, basically it's a prison. It's not a home. For us, it looks harmless, but for the birds, it is confinement, it's isolation, and basically everything that is natural. But the birds is not just working movement, but their entire way of being, the entire what they enjoy to do. So they cannot enjoy their hobbies, they cannot enjoy their life, their freedom, their home, their mates. And flying is their nature. That is what, it's not a hobby or luxury for birds, it's their fundamental nature. And their entire anatomy is made for flying. So denying this is very cruel. I'm not saying that people are cruel, but we are not aware of it. Maybe we are used to it. Maybe in our home, in our childhood home, we had such cage, and then we didn't think more of it. But we should really understand what cages are, and that birds are not objects. And there is also the so-called invisible trauma. The damage to captivity is real, like chronic stress, depression, helplessness, and despair. And those are quite true, but invisible. Sometimes they are visible, like birds, they may start to pluck out their like hair on their head. They become bald. They can show like aggression between themselves also. That's also chickens when they are in confined, and they can become quite desperate and start to just go crazy. And that's because cages are inhuman. It's even worse than inhuman. Imagine we living in a cage for others, maybe stronger than us, to watch us. It's all about strength. that we are stronger than the birds. We have more tools in our hands to catch them. We can create tools. We can create like tools to catch them. And just because we can, then we do. But that's not the way to see it. So yeah, for me, if one has cages, they should let the birds be free. I know some would say that yeah, but the birds are now used to home. Then how will they live? Then I would respond, let nature decides. Um, Birds are wild animals. They have instincts. They may struggle in the beginning, but um, in all cases, they would prefer freedom to imprisonment, to force imprisonment. It's not even that. I mean, it's not that they did anything wrong. Just something that we do to beings, put them in cages. But let's open our cages. Maybe take the cage to the forest and then open them. You know, there's a famous genius artist in time, Leonardo da Vinci. He was one of the most amazing being on this planet ever. He was like a genius in so many different subjects. He was a painter, sculptor, scientist. He explored the bodies, also the human body, medicine, and I would say, of course, he also was an animal rights activist, one could say. He hated seeing animals in cages and birds in cages. And yeah, he also was, at least he was vegetarian, that's for sure. Was a vegan, but the vegan word didn't exist then, so we don't know. But he was deeply ethical, deeply a very good man. And when he used to go to the market and he see a bird in cage, then he would buy the cage and he would free the birds in the forest and to open the cage and just let the bird escape and be free. And yeah, he also famously said that there will come a time when humanity will see the death, the murder of a human in the same way, or the murder of an animal in the same way that they see the murder of a human. I am praying for that day. I'm not sure when it will come. I believe it will come. I don't know when. It's kind of inevitable, especially if we want to survive this planet. But yes, so Leonardo da Vinci was really not only a genius as an artist, a scientist. He even created models of like planes. You believe it? Like 600 years ago, about 500, 600 years ago, he already made plans for planes. Of course, they didn't really work very well. At the time, there wasn't the right engineering that there is today. But it was remarkable. Yeah. So freedom is a biological need for birds. That's how they evolved over millions of years to thrive in wild, open environments. Everything in their being, their mind, and their bodies are designed for freedom. So yeah, captivity doesn't just limit their movement; it denies their very essence, truly. And no matter how big the the cage that we made for them, it will still be a cage, and they will suffer terribly, tremendously. It's just that it's not their home. They fly over a very long distance. Many species migrate for thousands of miles in different means. Different means that we do not really possess. And for them, flight is like exploration. It's also survival, and it's an expression of their own being. So it's a beautiful thing. We often see birds migrate during winter time to hotter climates, and they also choose their companions. Maybe not all species. I do not know how it works exactly, but for sure, some species they choose their companions. The lifelong bonds, so they know each other very well. So it's a choice and compatibility. And they court each other, they communicate, and they build relationship on their own terms. So again, when we put them in cages, we deny them this fundamental right. And then they love to explore, to forage and play for food. And they're a problem solver. For them, it's also kind of a play to maybe find food in different places. And it provides them some stimulation, some mental stimulation and fulfillment that is essential to their well-being, to their life. So again, when we put them in cages, we deny them this fundamental right, and we have absolutely no right to do that. And so captivity, it breaks birds. The psychological toll is of captivity is heartbreaking, is very real, and they are not random or genetic. They are really direct responses to something that is unnatural, that is very restrictive. And we're witnessing beings in crisis, beautiful, self-aware, one could say, being. Well, all beings are self-aware, but they are very evolved. Birds are not. They're not plants. They're not fruits. They have. They are deeply intelligent. They also feel pain. They are like us, basically. Just different species. That's all. So birds they pull out their own feather until they're nearly bald. That is kind of self-harm driven by stress and boredom and psychological pain. Imagine that, in the wild, this is quite unknown, which is quite understandable. I mean, imagine we being confined to a very small cage, even with nothing to do, for hours, days, weeks, months, years. That is that would probably make us quite depressed, and we would probably go quite crazy. And so they scream either scream or are silent, and it's a cry for help. It's not the beautiful song that we believe they are. Again, we don't understand their speech. We don't understand their language. That's why we believe maybe that the songs of the birds in cages are beautiful. But it is like saying, please get me out, get me out, get me out. That's what they are saying. I'm just translating. It's not very hard to understand. But we do not understand. We just want to understand. Yeah, so I already told the story that um, when I was working in the past, many years ago, I came across like every day a bar, and it has like birds outside. Um, and I was very sad about it. So I went to see the owner of the bar, and I asked him to if I could buy the birds. I didn't say why, but then he said, "Oh no, 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 those are like my children's. No, no, no." So I was very sad. So he denied it, did not accept it. Yeah, maybe I should have opened the door anyway. But yeah, so he believed those birds are like his children's, but come on, one doesn't treat their children's like that, I hope. Again, that's a human thing to believe that animals, birds are objects, and maybe humans go attached to those animals, but it's more wrong type of attachment. It's like believing that this object should always be with us, and we shouldn't like enjoy them, enjoy their singing and like seeing how beautiful they are, but only for ourselves. Um, yeah, this is very egoistic and very very cool. Yeah, and then as we said, there's the self-harm behaviors because they don't have anything to do. So yeah, and these are not like behavioral problems; they are like cries of distress. And it doesn't matter how many toys we give them, what we are training them to do. This will never truly heal them. Yeah, I can imagine humans to put in cages and just maybe given something to do, like move, like maybe trampoline. I don't know, and we believe that that will solve their loneliness and their cries of desperation. But no, it will not. And yeah, so that's another aspect. So that was cages that we discussed, but now there's also the hunting aspect of it. So yeah, birds, they value their life just as much as we value ours. They feel pain, they fear death, and they fight to survive. They have families that they have to take care of for partners. They're very devoted. They communicate, and yeah, if for example one hunts a bird, that means maybe that bird has like her babies or his babies, and then once we kill that bird, for one, they cannot take care of their babies anymore. The babies probably will die. That's one reason for not hunting, but there's so many reasons. Just the fact that hunting is cruel, and just we believe that sports and leisure, and yeah, they are like some kind of game maybe. They are just and the birds are targets, and that's just not right. I already also told how I went to a site, so I got some like points that I can use on the sites at work. to buy some like some kind of gifts. And then I saw in the site that there was one category that was like in I think hobbies, pleasure, something like that, and the category was hunting and fishing. And I was kind of very sad and kind of shocked, so I left the site immediately. How can hunting and fishing be regarded as like a hobby or pleasure or yeah, some kind of entertainment? Again, that's such a human thing, which is very sad. Humans are supposed to be kind to all beings, but we grew up believing that we can do anything to them, even kill them just for our pleasure, for sports. Some consider that as sports. For traditions, and that's completely incompatible with compassion, with kindness. So if we can choose kindness, why would we choose violence? That's the main. That's one of the main points of the vegan lifestyle. Yeah, we don't need. Sometimes there are many different reasons people give for hunting. Well, some just eat for kill for sport. Some say that they kill for eating them. I mean, we don't really need to eat birds. Some say that the hunting is like protecting nature, which is very ironic. Maybe they think, yeah, we need to kill too many birds is not good. I mean, that's ridiculous. And nature self-regulates itself. We don't need humans to regulate nature. I mean, nature was doing fine before humans for millions of years, billions of years. Why suddenly we need to to help nature regulate? I mean, it's just an excuse, nothing other than an excuse to cause harm. And yeah, we should wake up from it. We should wake up from this dream, from this nonsense, from this violence that we cause other beings. And we also cause it to ourselves, of course. When we hunt or fish, our own empathy descends tremendously. We hardens our hearts. Our hearts become like stone. And yeah, but then also there are some hunters who understood that, and then they stop or they even go vegan. And now that is amazing to see. Then their heart melts again, and their heart shines again, and then they promote these two hunters. They say that hunting is not a good thing, but probably not many are listening to them. Yeah. So yeah, birds are not food. Like all animals, basically, there's absolutely no nutritional necessity. There's no nutrient in birds that we cannot obtain from plant-based sources. Everything is abundantly available without violence. Yeah, we thrive on plants, basically. Yeah, so we value. I mean, value their life. Doesn't matter what species, chicken, turkey, duck, or wild bird. They are all individuals. They all want to live. They are all like us, like you and me. Between themselves, they probably have names and they recognize each other. So they have preferences, they have relationship, and they have the capacity to suffer, both physically and mentally. And yeah, they desire to live just as much as we do. So yeah, as always, this is a question that repeats often in veganism. It asks us to consider, if we don't need to harm, why would we? And that's a very wonderful question, self-dialogue that we can ask during self-dialogue session. If we don't need to harm, why would we? And we don't need to harm any being, basically. When kindness is possible, then violence becomes a choice. And then we can choose as we wish. We can choose in a different way than it is currently. But it is, we need to awaken again. For me, mankind is kind of asleep. It's not kind of, he's asleep and needs to be to awaken. I believe mankind is compassionate, at least capable of great compassion, but mankind needs to wake up. For the moment we are sleeping. We live in a kind of dream world where we don't really see reality as it is. We live in a kind of illusion, the illusion of the mind. Each one of us lives in kind of complete illusion. And we need to wake up to reality. Maybe it takes some time, sometimes we like to snooze in the morning when we wake up, so it can take some time once we start to wake up. But at least we must wake up. We cannot stay asleep 24 hours and 24. That would be strange. So similarly, we also need to wake up from this dream, maybe nightmare. And yeah, so birds are very useful, as we said, and they are balance of nature. Actually, they are essential to the architecture of nature, to healthy ecosystems. So the rose is not just beauty, not just sound, not just music. They are vital workers. They maintain the web of life that sustains us all. Maybe that's something that could surprise some. But like everything in nature, everything has a role. So they disperse seed across very vast distances for planting forests. Yeah, and many tree species depends on birds to themselves survive and to be able to again disperse the seeds and grow everywhere or elsewhere. Then they also pollinate, like hummingbirds and other species. They pollinate countless plant species, like similarly to bees. And yeah, so our crops depends on it, and without them, the ecosystem would collapse. And then there are also nutrient cycling. Maybe that's something that not many people know. So they contribute to nutrient cycling through their droppings. They enrich the soil and water with vital compounds. So it's like a natural fertilization. And that supports plant growth and ecosystem productivity. It is believed that some maybe islands, they are very green and full of forests only because of birds. Thanks to birds. So yeah, so when we protect birds, we don't not only protect the birds themselves, but also what they help us to achieve. So they protect forests and plants and life itself. So if the birds population decline, then the entire ecosystem suffer, all the nature. And yeah, so we should reflect upon that. And yeah, so there's like compassionate alternatives. We can honor birds without controlling them and see their beauty and enjoy their presence. There are like bird sanctuaries where birds can thrive in in nature, in the freedom, and that is wonderful. There's also we can protect the natural habitats, not destroying the habitat, and that again comes from animal agriculture, which destroys vast amount of land, of forests. We can create bird-friendly gardens, which means maybe providing them some food, a little bit of food, especially in winters. In winter time, it's important for them. And yeah, we can maybe have wild gardens. We don't need to mow the grass all the time. Wild gardens are wonderful, especially for pollinators. And yeah, why do we even mow gardens? Like not mowing them, letting them be wild is wonderful. It's very good for insects, very good for all the wild birds, all the wild animals. Because when we go to the forest, there's no one mowing them, mowing the garden, mowing the forest. So yes, and we can observe very respectfully. So from a distance, we try not to derail, like to bother them. To just watch with binoculars. And yeah, we can enjoy it. Maybe make some videos about them from a distance, but not disturbing their being. Yeah, so true love never imprisons. That's very important. When we truly care about someone, we want them to flourish, to be free, not just to survive in captivity, but thrive in freedom. That is basically basic love, basic true love. Love is not binding. Love is freedom. So yeah. Yeah, so the vegan lifestyle, veganism means letting birds be birds. That's basically it. So, of course, the vegan lifestyle is not just about food choices. It goes far behind that. It's a philosophy of compassion, of kindness. It respects the freedom of all beings. It's honoring the inherent value of all life. And we choose always kindness in everything that we do, in all our actions. Then we acknowledge that birds don't exist for our entertainments, our meals, and our convenience, or our listening to them. Basically, when one has birds that sings, those songs are songs of sadness, of longing to be in nature. And yeah, they exist for themselves. They need to fly. They need to fly. They must fly. They want to fly. And to sing, to build nests outside in the on trees. They want to raise families, and they just want to be happy, like all of us. Yeah, and every choice that we make, then it sends ripples into the world. So if we choose not to cage, not to hunt, not to consume them, then these choices really do matter. We create space for freedom, so we honor life. Yeah, so let's build a world where we let the sky people be free, and we don't imprison them in any way. And that is crucial for maybe even for our own heart, for our own well-being. But we need to understand that. So that was the last slide of today's presentation. I hope you took something out of it, that it helps us to see maybe a bit more clear what the birds, animals are. But it's not only those that fly, of course. There are also the chickens and the ducks and the turkeys. I believe there are also birds considered as birds, for sure. And they also, of course, deserve our compassion and kindness. They're also like in cages, put in cages. So for here, I focused more on the birds that really that fly all the time. But of course, there are others like chickens, ducks, and turkeys, which maybe do not fly as much or at all. Maybe they lost their ability to fly much. But they are no less important, and they are also, we should stop eating them, like chickens and turkeys. Like turkeys often are food for Thanksgiving. For some reason, that's become a tradition. Again, traditions can be changed. Tradition are just something that somebody started one day and then another one, and then it become a tradition maybe after 2 or 3 times that someone did the same thing every year, and then it spreads to all the lands somehow. But Thanksgiving is like giving thanks to everything. So it's like it's gratefulness. But how can we be grateful around a wonderful being that has just been killed for us for no reason, and that also wanted freedom? So the best Thanksgiving dinners are those with plant-based turkey or plant-based food. Doesn't need to be like a replacement for turkey. Just enjoy a wonderful plant-based meal, and then enjoy giving thanks to all. That would be a wonderful tradition. Very non-violent, very considerate, happy tradition. Maybe next time that we are in the situation of maybe choosing what we have for Thanksgiving, then we have this in mind, and we decide to have a plant-based Thanksgiving. There's a wonderful video on my channel from a wonderful lady, Lisa, and she had a sanctuary, or had. Fortunately, there was some natural catastrophe. But yeah, she's a wonderful being, a wonderful woman, and she has a sanctuary for helping many beings, including turkeys and chickens. And I would highly recommend looking at this video. It's called Thanksgiving with Love. It's on my playlist about sustainability and the vegan lifestyle, and it's just one of them. I also recommended it, I think maybe in the second session, so you can just look at the notes of the second session that we had in these 40 days, and there that's the video I recommend, I believe. And yeah, so let's make this world a heaven for all beings, to the sky people, to the earth people, and to the ocean people, and to ourselves. it is all up to us, to each one of us. We should not think that we are just an individual and we cannot do anything. That's very wrong kind of view. Each one of us that makes like good, kind, compassionate choices, it ripples. It has strong ripples everywhere, to the entire world. Especially if one goes vegan, if one switches to a vegan lifestyle, that would be one of the most important change that one can make in one's life. And it's a positive change, it's a kind change, it's a compassionate change. Nothing comes even close to that change in especially in this day and age. It makes us become saintly in some sense, or not in some sense, in reality. So, especially if we choose it for ethical reason, I mean, it doesn't really matter for the animals what we choose it for, but if we choose it for ethical reason, there's very little chance that we go back to consuming animal flesh or secretions. If we choose it for other reasons, then possibly we could go back, unfortunately, because there's not enough motivation, incentive to remain vegan. Maybe one went vegan to health, and then one became healthy, and then one wants to eat meat again, because the reason for going vegan was just health. Of course, one should stay vegan. That's much healthier. But yes, one can imagine that maybe environmental reason for going vegan, and then maybe somehow the planets won't go a bit better, and then, oh, okay, now I can eat animals again. That's a very wrong thing. But at the same time, just doesn't matter which reasons one goes vegan. Just let's go all vegan. And especially when one goes vegan, one start to look at, maybe think about it more. One start to see documentaries, and many people go vegan or plant-based for health reasons. And then they watch documentaries and they are shocked by what they see. And then they switch their reason for being vegan, first and foremost being the ethical or environmental reason. So health may be the entry point, but ethics or maybe environmentally reason become next choice, and the ethical reason is really the best one by far, and the most logical, honestly. Yeah, so I think that's all I have to say for now. So thank you for listening, and let's move to our daily practice. So, welcome everyone. Good morning. Hope you are all doing well. So let's start our practice like always with our daily prayer. So, just for today, I will not worry. Just for today, I will not be angry. Just for today, I will do my work honestly. Just for today, I will show gratitude for my many blessings. Just for today, I will be kind to all living beings. May today be a joyful, peaceful, blissful, and magical day. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all the beings in all the worlds be happy and free. And may our thoughts, words, and deeds contribute in some way to that happiness and freedom for all. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om peace to all of nature, peace to all beings, to all living beings, to all humans, to all the animals, people. And finally, peace to ourselves, to our own mind. Om. Let's move to our gratefulness part. So, just remind is just we are being grateful for everything that we have, for all the beings in our life, for our family, for our parents, siblings. Um, we we give thanks to them. Uh, we're grateful for them for taking good care of us, for being here for us all the time, for all our teachers who teach us so many things in so many subjects. Um, for all our material possessions that somebody need to have made. So we thank them for all our food that we consume. Somebody needed to farm those. So it's wonderful to be able to have such food. And maybe each one of us will have different thing to be grateful for. So we all probably have similar things. So let's do that just for a couple of minutes. Let's start now. Slowly open your eyes. So let's start with a bit of physical exercise. As always, I am just presenting a very simple routine. Feel free to make up your own or do something that is stronger. If you like sweating and really hard exercise, that is okay. You can do them now for 5-10 minutes. So yeah, so let's do this. So first we start as usual with our Sufio roll. So inhale forward, exhale back. And the other way. Come back to center. Now the big bear. So inhale, exhale round. Come back to center. Inhale, turn to one side. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, turn a bit more. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale the other side. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, turn a bit more. Inhale, come back. And exhale. Then one hand on this mat. Inhale. And then exhale, turn. Stay here for a couple of breaths. Then inhale back. Exhale the other side. Come back to center. Then hand on the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale back. Other way. And come back to center. And let's just roll a little bit the wrists and the arms. You can make like rapidly open and close. And same thing with the legs, with the feet. Just extend them and then yeah, stretch them. You can bring one leg to you and then turn to that side. Same thing with the other one. And come back to center. And put your legs in diamond shape like that. And just very, very slowly fall forward. Do not push. Let gravity do its thing. And slowly come back. So basically that concludes our physical exercise part. It's a very easy sequence, very easy routine that most people can do quite easily, and it's quite good to prepare ourselves for our practice. It's always good to do a little bit of physical exercises just to unloosen the joints. So when we want to meditate, especially in the morning after we wake up, it's a very good idea to do this before starting meditation. so that we can meditate better, easier. So now we move to the relaxation part, aspect. So relaxation is very important in meditation. So we need to be very relaxed when we meditate for many reasons. But yeah, meditation is about being very, very cool, very relaxed. So doing some relaxation practice is quite helpful. Also, after physical exercise, what we want to do, we want to relax. Especially if one is doing like strong routines, then even more so. So that's why in most yoga classes, especially Vinyasa or Hatha, then one will have at the end a Shavasana of relatively long time, maybe 5-10 minutes. And then it's very relaxing and very pleasant. Yeah, so relaxation, what we will do now is the 61 points of relaxation, also called Shavyatra. So it's like it means the corpse journey. So we journey through this body and focusing on different points, different important points that are considered like energy energy centers, not only the chakras but different places on the body. Yeah, so let's do that. So we saw for the 21st sessions we did the 31 points of relaxation. Basically, now we are going to do the 61 points. So the 31 points, the 61 points includes the 31 points, and then it goes a bit further. So usually one will start just with the 31 points until one really mastered it, and one can really feel those points quite well. And then one moves to the 61 points, which is a bit more complete, which includes the entire body. And yeah, it's very easy to remember. So it's basically a very systematic body scan, one could say. It's a body scan, but a very systematic and always the same, which has many advantages, that one doesn't really need to think about where to concentrate. One just follow the given route. So we'll do it twice. We do it once together, all of us, and one by your own. So again, you can do it lying down or sitting up. You decide. Just close your eyes and relax. Relax your head, your face, your neck. Relax your shoulders, your back, your front. Relax your hips, legs, feet, hands, arms. Take a couple of deep breaths. And let's start. So bring your entire attention to the space between the eyebrows. You can imagine a beautiful blue star there, and that star will follow our awareness. Wherever we are aware, this star will follow. Now bring your awareness to the pit of the throat, the right shoulder, right elbow, right wrist, tip of the right thumb, tip of the index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Back to the right wrist, right elbow, right shoulder, pit of the throat, left shoulder, left elbow, left wrist, tip of the left thumb, tip of the index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Back to the left wrist, left elbow, left shoulder, pit of the throat, the middle of the chest, the right chest, middle of the chest, the left chest, middle of the chest. Now this is the 31 points of relaxation. And now we continue further. So bring all your attention to your navel, lower abdomen, right hip joint, right knee, right ankle, tip of the right big toe, tip of the second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. Back to the right ankle, right knee, right hip joint, lower abdomen, left hip joint, left knee, left ankle, tip of the left big toe, tip of the second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. Back to the left ankle, left knee, left hip joint, lower abdomen, navel, the middle of the chest, the pit of the throat, and the space between the eyebrows. And just relax. And now let's do each one on our own. Same things. So let's start now. And slowly open your eyes. So that concludes our relaxation part. And yeah, before we go to pranayama, let's take a 5 minutes break. Okay, so let's start our practice of today. So this is the pranayama part where we focus on prana or life force energy. It is not necessarily linked to the breath, but usually pranayama involves breathing exercises. So we will start with our usual one-to-one breathing, so where we inhale for 4 seconds and exhale for 4 seconds. As always, just I'm giving the overview. One, the breath needs to be from the nose, out from the nose, so only the nose is involved, unless the nose is blocked, of course. It needs to be silent, it needs to avoid having any pauses, and it needs to be very smooth. Those are the qualities, and of course it should be diaphragmatic, meaning it's really the diaphragm going up and down without any tension. So in any case, the diaphragm will go up and down. In all cases, doesn't matter how we breathe, but it depends how it expands, how the air inside of us expands. That's where the muscle tensions comes into play. If our shoulders are up, then our breath would be limited to kind of the upper place, and that creates a small space for breathing, and it's quite feels stressful. And then we can also breathe from a little bit lower, from like the chest, or from the abdomen, or like the belly expand very naturally without any tension. So really the idea is to be tensionless, basically, as much as possible. So especially the shoulders, we need to think about them really a lot. And we can retrain ourselves to be in different ways, to breathe diaphragmatically through mainly two exercises. One is just one like lying down, one hand on the belly, one hand on the chest. And just make sure that one breathe from the belly and not from the chest. So the chest should almost not move. The other one is the crocodile pose. That is also quite good. Yeah, so let's do that for a couple of minutes. So inhale 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds. and slowly open your eyes. So let's now move to the 1-2 breathing, meaning we inhale for 4 seconds, we exhale for 8. That may not be for everyone. If that is too much, just do 3 seconds in, 6 seconds out, or even 2 seconds in and 4 seconds out instead. But if you can for 8, that is fine. So same thing, same quality of breath, everything the same. Just inhale for 4 seconds, exhale for 8 seconds. So let's do that for a couple of minutes. And slowly open your eyes. So those practices are very calming to the nervous system. That's why we do them. And we train ourselves to breathe a bit slower, because the breath and the mind are very much interconnected, interrelated. So when we calm the mind, then we calm the breath, and inversely, when we calm the breath, we calm the mind. So it's almost a one-to-one relation. That's why we can calm the mind by calming the breath. So when we are stressed, we can try to relax the breath, and then our mind will naturally get calmer. So let's move to the next practice that we do, which is the Nadi Shodhanam, Anulama Viloma, alternate nostril breathing. So the 10 first sessions we did the first type, and then afterwards we did the second type. And now next we'll do the third type. So third type for pattern is very easy. It concentrates mostly on one nostril at a time. That's the idea. So first we put our hands in Vishnu Mudra, so open the index and middle finger, then we block with the thumb and the ring. And the sequence, the pattern is, imagine we block the right, then we exhale left, exhale left, inhale left, exhale left, inhale left, exhale left, inhale left, switch, exhale right, inhale right, exhale right, inhale right, exhale right, inhale right. That's one round. Second round would start from the other nostril, same thing, and then the third one from the first one. And then between rounds, we take a little bit of pause, a little bit of relaxation, so like 10-15 seconds of just relaxing, and then we go to the next round. The breath should be very diaphragmatic, as always, silent. We will do it like a 1-1. So breathe in for 8 seconds, breathe out for 8 seconds in the same manner. Maybe exhale a little bit longer than inhale if we want to. The exhale should always be longer than or equal to the inhalation in order for the parasympathetic nervous system to kick in. So the one that is just the chill system. So we do 1 round together, and then you will do 3 rounds on your own. So let's start. Then inhale, exhale, inhale to start. Block right, exhale from left. Inhale left, exhale left, inhale left, exhale left, inhale left, switch, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and relax. So that was 1 round. So let's do each one of us 3 rounds of this. Let's start now. and slowly open your eyes. So now we will do the last pranayama exercise of the morning, which is the Brahmari, humming bee. So there are different way of doing it, but we're going to do it in the easiest way. Just inhale, and when we and then we hum. So it's like inhale, then and so on. You don't need to follow me. Just do it at your own pace. This is extremely calming to the nervous system. It also creates nitric oxide. It like brings nitric oxide to the lungs through the nostril humming. It's something like 10 to 15 times more even. And nitric oxide is very important. It dilates the vessels, so it's very good for breathing well. And yeah, as a side note, nitric oxide is also very important when we breathe from the nose. That's why it's also important to breathe from the nose. There's almost no nitric oxide when we breathe from the mouth, so it only comes to the lungs when we breathe from the nose. And beside the nose is a purifier of air. It removes microbes, it removes like polluting stuff, things that should not be there. And from the mouth, that doesn't happen. So it's important to breathe from the nose as much as possible, unless the nose is blocked, of course. Even in sleep, it's good to breathe from the nose, not from the mouth. One can retrain that. There are exercises to retrain the nose breathing. So yeah, there are many reasons why we should breathe from the nose, even while exercising sports. So if one needs to breathe from the mouth, maybe one exercises too much, and then one needs maybe to slow down and still breathe from the nose when one is doing sports. Of course, there may be exceptions if one really needs to breathe from the mouth because of oxygen, require a lot of oxygen, then of course that is good. We just need to do what is natural for us. So let's do this humming bee exercise. So each one on one's own. You do not need to follow me. Just to slow, fast as you wish. You can use any tone that you wish. And yeah, let's start. And slowly relax. As always, do it at your own capacity. If you have like the mind turned, then stop immediately. for any of the exercises, of course. It's your own practice, your own body. You know better what works, what doesn't. At the same time, we can a little bit push further than what we think we're capable of. Of course, with some exceptions, like pregnant women should never do any poses in any of the exercise, and many of the pranayamas are not suitable for them. But apart from that, it's maybe good to push oneself a bit further. So let's pass to the next. So we finished now the pranayama. So again, to recap, what we do is first prayer, then gratitude, physical exercise, relaxation, and pranayama, and then self-dialogue, and after that will come meditation. So self-dialogue is when we talk to ourselves in a positive, lovely, joyful, peaceful, blissful way. We talk with our own mind in a constructive way. It's like we have a wonderful discussion with our best friend. So when we talk with our best friend, it's very rare that we will scold one another. That's the wonderful thing about friendship, is that the relations are very natural, and we feel good with those persons. There's no scolding usually, very rarely, unless one wants to help another person. That's another thing. But usually between best friends, it's very relaxed atmosphere, very understanding, empathic atmosphere. So we should do the same with the mind. So consider the mind one of our best friend, if not our best friend. And we talk with our mind in a very friendly way. So we do not scold our mind, try to be understanding, and we try to, if there are some habits that are not good, then we help the mind to acquire new habits. That's all. It's not the mind fault always if we have bad habits. It's our awareness that something that in us make those habits, create those habits in the first place. But as we have created those habits, we can also reverse them. We can create new habits. Habits is a very important topic, because our habits, it is said that I heard it from a wonderful woman, Lisa Raimondi, like something, I don't remember exactly the quote, like habits, we cannot create or know our future, or determine our future, but we can create or determine our habits, and our habits create or determine our future or our destiny. And it is so true, because sometimes we want to change our future, but we don't know how. So instead of just wanting to change our future, we should change our habits. And our habits will change our future. And our habits are extremely powerful. So when we change even one habit, we acquire a new one. It's a tremendous gain for our entire life and also those around us. Any habit that we change can be life-changing. Like not all habits, but there are some very powerful ones. Like for example, like going vegan. That's a new habit to acquire. because we're so used to eat meat, fish, eggs, honey, maybe insects, maybe birds. In a way that those are just habits, habits of ourselves, habits of our society, of our traditions. But they can be changed. I don't know if easily, but there's a saying like where there's a will, there's a way. So if we want to change, we will change. If we want to switch to a vegan lifestyle, we don't know how or even why exactly. We can just watch some documentaries and we'll understand. There are some documentaries that make one like instantly vegan. They're very strong, like I believe Earthlings. Um, yeah, there's a funny anecdote. I remember there was one lovely woman. She has like a channel, a lovely channel of like recipes, vegan recipes, and I mean, that's one of the first channel I ever went to a very long time ago. Don't remember when. And she explained her vegan journey. It was quite funny. She's a funny woman, and she said like she loves science fiction movies like me. And one day she saw on her feed something that sounded quite intriguing, like it was Earthlings. And yeah, it sounds like something science fiction, like Earth, something, maybe some aliens coming to Earth or whatever. And then okay, so she put it on her look list, to look list, watch list, and then she one day well she watched this science fiction movie. This is what she thought, and yeah, she was quite shocked to see that it has nothing to do with science fiction. For maybe some could say that it is because it's incredible that it even exists. But then she saw the documentary, which is about how we treat animals in different ways, not only food but also clothing, entertainments, like circuses, aquariums, and yeah, clothes. And yeah, of course, she was a bit shocked, and but she watched it anyway. And I believe, okay, I don't remember exactly. It was really long time ago, but I believe she said that she went vegan almost instantly or instantly. And yeah, so that's how one can go vegan. Just believe one movie is science fiction and watch it, and then one goes vegan. So if one is sensitive, one has really sensitive heart, one documentary would be enough. Or even one person telling the other one about it would be enough. Some people go instantly vegan as a result. You just need like a spark to start it, and that's it. Other needs, most people needs more time. So yeah, I don't know how I came to talk about that, but thought that was interesting. Yeah, it was like discussion how people want vegan. Yeah, everyone has their own story, their own journey. Most people start by going vegetarians and then going vegan afterwards. Some go vegan immediately. But yeah, watching documentaries is awesome nowadays. We didn't have that in the past, so it's very helpful. Yeah, we talked about habits changing. So I said that every habit can, even changing one habit can be completely life changing. And one of the biggest one is to go vegan. That will completely change us. It would, like from inside out, literally. Our bodies will change for the good. Our heart will open up emotionally. We will understand better. Or something that we not understand is how come we didn't know about it earlier? How come we didn't go vegan before? Actually, we will be sad that we didn't go before. But for most of us, we were not even aware of that it exists. I didn't know it exists for a long time. Yeah, so that's one habit to consider, like transitioning to, one could say, or acquiring. And another one that can be life-changing is minimalism. So to switch to a minimalist lifestyle is can be amazing and very life-changing to the good. And minimalism and veganism go also hand in hand together, although they are not necessarily the same, and they tackle different things, but they have things that cross over one another. So minimalism is when we are very very clear about what we have, like usually our material. We start with the material possessions that we have. We notice that we have way more than we ever need, and we never got rid of what we have. So we have so many clothes in our dressers, like way more, like hundreds of clothes that we do not need. We can donate them, or donate, or sell, or throw away if they are wasted. And then slowly by slowly we try to be very mindful about what we buy. So it's also about mindfulness. What we get into our homes, some make like rules, like one in, one out. When one buys one item, then one has to give out one item. And it makes our life much easier, much simpler, much more fulfilling also. And it's very good for our wallet. We buy much less, and we are always very intentional about what we buy. So we only buy what we really need, what we really want, not what we in the moment think we want, or the promotions or the marketing makes us want to buy. Like buying every year a smartphone, like what for? It's just a waste, and we don't have a lot of things to waste in this world. So anything that we have, we should use until it's either broken, or we don't want it, or we don't need it. Then we can recycle, give it, or sell it, or throw it away if we cannot do anything anymore. So you can watch, like if you are not aware really of minimalism, I would highly recommend to watch The Minimalists. There is a wonderful documentary on YouTube for free, a full documentary that was on Netflix beforehand, but the authors, producers decided to give it for free, which is quite incredible from their own part, which really means they don't really, not that they do not value money, but they do not they want this to really become mainstream and that everyone could watch this documentary. There is another documentary, I believe, by them on Netflix that is like number 2. But yeah, the first one can be found on YouTube for free. It's also on my playlist of the sustainability playlist. You can find it. I also gave it as one of the videos to watch in one of those sessions. So the link is quite easy to find. And it opens our eyes to a different way of seeing. There are so many people who have tiny houses. That's also a wonderful thing. I don't live in a tiny house, but I believe I would love to. Yeah, if I would buy a house, it would probably be a tiny house. Just having what is necessary. We can even move the house from place to place. If one doesn't like the place, the neighborhood, one can. It's basically a house on wheels, and it's wonderful. So, yeah, and there are many other hobbies that can be life changing. Yeah, I don't really want to talk too much about this, but we should really think about some habits that we really want to acquire or to remove. Like if we drink alcohol, then stopping alcohol can be amazing. Maybe replace it with juicing, which is much more healthy. Alcohol is poison. Even a little bit, we should not drink. It clouds our minds and it's terrible for meditation. Yeah, so smoking, that's a habit that we should definitely also not even start. It destroys our lungs, make us age faster, and it's terrible for our surrounding, for everyone that we surround ourselves with. So it's like everybody who is in a place where they smoke, it's called passive smoking. We become smokers without even smoking. In the past, it was very common. Thank God, nowadays, smoking is only allowed in certain places, not in offices. In most places on Earth, I believe. And yeah, so habits is very important. I don't know why I talked about habits. Maybe I should rewind and see. But we talk about self-dialogue. So yeah, what is self-dialogue is when we talk positive to ourselves. There are many ways of talking. I'm quite passionate about this this topic of self-dialogue, positive self-dialogue. Maybe that's why I talk about it so much. So the different categories are prayers. Prayer is a type of self-dialogue. It can be either pre-made or own-made. Gratefulness is a wonderful self-dialogue. Affirmations. Metta meditation, as we discussed a couple of times in the past, where we wish well to all beings, plus to all the humans that we care about, those that are neutral and those that are difficult. And then we have focus on higher truths called contemplation. So like, who am I? Famous who am I? Who am I not? And then we have self-counseling, which is what do I want? What are my goals in life? How can I achieve the goal? Yeah, and etc. How can I feel better? So it's like self-counseling. So maybe I should exercise more or meditate more. It's those kind of self-dialogue. And then we have friendship with mind, where we just friend with the mind and we enjoy talking with the mind, basically. It's like talking to our best friend. So yes, so let's start. We will do 12 minutes of self-dialogue, and I will start the bell to start with, and then at the end I will strike the bell again. So find a comfortable position. Maybe first relax the legs a little bit, stretch them, because we've been sitting for a long time. So find a comfortable position. It need not be necessarily like meditation, like very stable and strict, but at least a comfortable position that one can maintain for some time. So let's start. Yeah, so that was our self-dialogue part. Let's now pass to the meditation. So today, let's do something a bit special. We'll do many times 3 minutes meditations. So we'll do it for about 40 minutes, but so 3 minutes all the time. So 3 minutes chunks of meditation every time, and then first I will ring the bell to start with, and then ring the bell at each one. Then we relax a bit, and then we go next one again, 3 minutes all the time. The idea is really to try to make each one of those blocks of 3 minutes really the best 3 minutes of our meditation life. We try to really focus fully during those 3 minutes, because it's easier to focus when we know that it is not very long, and we really want it to be fully focused. It doesn't mean suppressing the thoughts. It means just like watching the thoughts, as if they are clouds. So when thoughts come, we don't follow them. We just see them drift away, basically. I know it's easier said than done, but when it's 3 minutes, it is doable. And check out how much thoughts did you follow? How much thoughts do we follow, and how much thoughts maybe we did not follow? And let's see if if you can do it for 3 minutes. Now, 3 minutes is quite challenging. It's not easy. So it's not like we all should be perfect with 3 minutes. No, 3 minutes, whoever can make it 3 minutes perfect is already, one could say, an advanced meditator. So 3 minutes is not easy, but we can do our best and just train ourselves to do it in a short period of time. That way we can do it basically everywhere at any time, almost any time. Like if you are in a bus, on a train, then you can do it. If you have 3 minutes free during your time, during work time, then you can do it. And it's like, one could say, like a candy, like when sometimes we want to eat a snack. It's like a snack. It's very enjoyable. It's short-lived, but we enjoy having snacks from time to time. So similarly, meditation for short periods, like 3 minutes, is very helpful. We should not think it's too short, so I'm not really meditating. No, it's a practice. Everything accumulates over time. And 3 minutes it's not bad. It's not that short, and it's not long, of course. So it's a kind of perfect middle ground. And once one can perfect like the 3 minutes, then one can go higher, maybe 4 minutes, 6 minutes, and so on. And yes, one could say it's quality over quantity. So let's try to do that. So we're going to do the breathing meditation again, breath awareness, where we are aware of our breath. We are aware of the sensations of the breath at our nostrils. Could be also the awareness of the cold, hot air from in our nostrils, or the sensation of the air in our lips, upper lips. So for each one of us, it will be a bit different. You can breathe in and out a bit forcefully for 1 or 2 times just to see where do you feel the breath. But of course, meditation should be in silence, complete silence. We should not do ujjayi, like the ocean breath. No. Don't do it, please. Especially not in group meditations. So just watch the sensations and focus on that. And whenever the mind wanders, bring the mind back to the breath. Initially, we can count the breath 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Each counting is for an inhalation and exhalation. We can also think in when we inhale and out when we exhale. And when we have thoughts, we can categorize it. One way is just to make just one category, like thinking, like thinking the word thinking. When we have thoughts that drags us away from our meditation, then we mindfully bring the attention back. It's always it's an eternal bringing back to our object of concentration. And that is basically mindfulness in meditation. In anywhere. Because when we are mindful, it means we are always bringing back our attention to whatever we want to focus on. And please, the breath should be natural, not controlled. So don't breathe in for a couple of seconds, out for a couple of seconds. You should not count, of course. I mean, not count like seconds. Breath should be completely, fully, 100% natural. No control at all. Zero control. It's easier said than done. We are not used to it. When we concentrate on the breath, we would have the tendency of controlling it. But let's let the breath be free. It's like the birds that we discussed. Consider the breath a bird that likes to be free, to have freedom, to breathe as it wants, as he wants, as she wants, and not control it, just be aware of it. Like with binoculars, we look at our breath from a distance. Like the awareness is looking at us. So let's do that. So we're going to do it for 3 minutes. I will again ring the bell to start and ring the bell at the end. So relax for 30 seconds to a minute and then prepare for the next round. So we'll probably do about 8 rounds. You can stretch your legs. And let's do it again for 3 minutes. Now relax a bit again. And let's go again. relax a bit. And let's go again. So stretch and relax. And get ready for the next round. So this practice of 3 minutes can be very also useful to practice Kaya so not moving. Um, so let the body be very still, um, like a mountain, like a tree, like a stone. And yeah, it's a good practice because it's quite short, so the mind can accept that we do not move for that long. Even if we have an itch, we can be convinced to not move because it's just 3 minutes, so it will be fine. Yeah, so try that in the next 3 minutes uh, slot. Just try to really be very, very still, very, very, very still. Don't move at all, if possible, unless you have pain. So let's do this. So how was it? Was it hard or not to not move? Um, so yeah, so this again, those 3 minutes meditation can be great for many reasons. One is to practice the stillness of body and comfort, because 3 minutes is not that long, so we can bear it all normally. The only thing that moves is basically the chest, the belly, the breath, basically, and the rest is fully still. Even if you have an itch, um, let's try to resist it. Just watch it and let it see that it stops by itself. So let's do with two last 3 minutes. So let's start. And now prepare for the last 3 minutes of the session. So try to give it all you've got. Don't move. Watch the breath. Don't follow the thoughts. Be fully in the present moment, not in the past, not in the future, only in the beautiful now. So let's start. slowly open your eyes. Then finalize the meditation by holding your hands, putting them on your eyes. Then slowly open your eyes in the darkness of the hands, palms, and then finish this. So so today we talked about the birds, the sky people, and so the birds are amazing creatures, but of course the birds, so they include also chickens, turkeys, ducks, and they are all wonderful beings, very gentle beings, that we do not wish to hurt, we do not want to hurt, but our society behaves otherwise. But it's our choice, what we do with our money, what we buy with our money. Like as they say, power to the people. We are the people. We can choose what is right, what is wrong. If you don't want to contribute to suffering of innocent beings, can you just don't buy birds in cages, or we buy them and set them free. We don't hunt them. We don't eat them. We don't consider them entertainment. Just as being on their own, like us. They want to be free. They want to be happy. Want to be joyful. So all beings wish to be happy and free. And they have their own families to take care of. So they have a lot of responsibility themselves, like us. So we should not make their life more complicated. We should help them, give them some food, especially in winter. Plant some good flowers, like pollinators, friendly clapped flowers, etc. So that was the presentation for today, and then we did, to finish it with meditation, we did like many times 3 minutes, which is a nice practice. In many ways one can practice Jaya Shteriam to really be stable in the body, and not react to anything like itches. And we can maybe practice being more concentrated just for 3 minutes. So maybe try 3 minutes during the day. Try this practice, just 3 minutes here and there when you can. Not in the car, of course, unless you are a passenger. But in buses or at work, when you have 3 minutes time free. And also we discussed a little bit about habits. Not a lot. Habits is a big topic, but habits are very important to work with, to know how to acquire a new one, to get rid of old habits, because basically we are creatures of habits. Whatever we do habitually, that's what we become, that's our personality, that's what we are known for. So even our profession is a kind of habit. We started learning it in school, in university, or anything. And day by day by day, and then it become a habit, a very strong habit. That's why we are quite good at it. So yeah, some habits to change can be awesome. That changes completely one's life. And one of them being, of course, being vegan is one of the most powerful habits to acquire in this life. No other habit comes close to it. But there are many others, of course, like having a regular sleep time, like minimalism, requiring so the habit of not wanting, not needing more than we need, not acquiring more than we need is a wonderful habit that in the West at least it's not very much practiced, but it could make a revolution. I mean, a good one if more people went minimalists. Then we will not need so much. It will be great for the planet, for sustainability. We will not have 10 cars, 9 that we do not need. We do not need big homes, really. I mean, the bigger the home, the more clutter we have. It's like the home defines how much clutter we have. Even in small homes, we can have a lot of clutter, but the bigger it is, the more we can pack in. So yeah, big homes can be very minimalist too. Maybe with good taste doesn't mean we are completely empty without any material, but with minimal good taste materials that we really need or like, that is a wonderful habit. And there are many other habits that can change one's life. But yeah, like meditation is a wonderful habit to have, regular meditation. But yes, so maybe something to ponder about. Which habit would you like to change and to acquire? Just one, and that could be enough to change one's complete outlook of life. But it can also be small habits. Don't need to go big also immediately. Or small habits are also very important, like eating more fruits, and as we said, going sleep on time, sleep enough, exercise, the usual stuff. So thank you very much. I wish you a happy, happy, happy day. Let's end with the mantra. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all the beings in all the worlds be happy and free. And may our thoughts, words, and deeds contribute in some way to that happiness and freedom for all. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om peace to all of nature, peace to all living beings, to all humans, to all animals, and finally peace to our own self, to our own mind. Om. Thank you. Bye bye.